Live, you're live. Now it says you're live.
You're live.
All
We're
right, let's
live.
see.
We're
Is
live.
We're live.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Because my YouTube isn't showing us as live yet.
Yeah, press that refresh.
You're in Hawaii. It's going to take quite a while.
This is the inevitable part of the live stream where we spend the first. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. Yep. We're live. We probably just looked like a bunch of boomers.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, what do you got? What do you got against boomers?
Nothing. They're
There's
they're less
probably boomers on this call right now.
they're less tech savvy.
It's fair. It's fair. So should we give it a minute or so? We get some people to pop on in.
We just need to see if it's working. Caleb,
I believe we are. Caleb Pilcher says, "Yo, hey Caleb, are we? Can you like hear our audio and does everything seem to be fine?"
Give us a yes, fam.
Yeah. Anybody want to type in the chat? We got 20 people in here.
I actually want to get up on this.
can you guys hear us?
Yep. He
I
says
hear
yes.
you. All
All right.
right.
Let's assume we're all
Yes,
good.
fam. We got some yes,
Cool.
fam.
Yes.
Zach,
Yeah,
don't
do
crash,
that
bro.
annoying thing.
I'm not going to crash, bro.
I turned it on here if I echo.
All right. Yep.
I
He
can
says
hear you.
yes.
All
All right.
right.
Let's assume we're all
Yes,
good.
fam. We got some yes.
Cool.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Zach,
Jeremy,
don't.
turn your thing on.
Yeah.
Who's doing that?
That's Sam.
Oh,
That is not
oh,
Sam.
Rachel?
no, I think it's me.
Come on, Rachel.
I'm
Come
sorry.
on,
It's
come
okay.
on.
We had to make sure. We had to make sure. I also wanted to make sure that I could see the chat. So if there's any like fun little pop-up queries, you know.
Okay.
All right.
But we're not echoing. I know it was like a total
We're
rookie
good.
mistake on my part.
Your favorite boomer squad is
We
live.
will be clipping this in post.
Your favorite boomer squad. We finally
Um,
made it, guys.
So we wanted to have this live stream to go more into depth on all the things we talked about in our announcement video that Beardfest is taking a year off in 2026. We know how invested most of you guys are in Beardfest, and that many of you have been for a really long time, and that there's a lot of love for Beardfest out there. And so we didn't want to just post and ghost. We wanted to have a little bit of an opportunity for dialogue. So we got a bunch of questions submitted in our Google form, and we're going to be addressing those. Rachel is going to be reading them and playing host for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, and maybe we'll take a little bit from the chat. We'll see. So yeah, let's give it over to Rachel.
Let's go with it. Right. These are really great questions that everyone entered in, by the way. So thank you again, because I think this will be really fun and informative at the same time. And I want to start with a fun one. Sir John Cadwell, you may know him and love him. He's great. He asks, or says, really, it's more of a statement. Please come back again someday. No one does it like y'all do. The venue can be in the Tibetan mountains and I'd still be there.
Cute.
So I think, yeah, we're gonna have to open up our search to find some property and we can go over there. Everyone coming to Tibet?
Yeah, if anyone knows any good properties in Tibet, just let us know.
Please let us know.
Just let us
Yeah.
know. Yeah. The next question that I have is from Lana. And she asks, is Beardfest 2026 canceled or is Beardfest over forever? Which has been the question.
Who wants it?
Well, I think right now we know that we need a break. Canceled, it was, I guess never officially planned and launched, so not technically canceled. But yeah, are we going to do another event in 2027? Will that event be uh something of a similar size or bigger at a different location, or will it be something smaller that's totally different? We're not quite sure, but we really just right now know that we need some time and space away from the life of running a festival. And I think that's what we can say for now.
Yeah. I think it's probably impossible to know this if you're someone who attends and isn't on the team, but I guess for me, Zach and Sam, and increasingly over the last couple of years, Rachel, running Beardfest is a year-long thing. I mean, we get maybe like 2 months, 3 months off right after the festival. Um, but yeah, I mean, we start having staff emails and staff calls like in October or November. We're working on putting tickets on sale, finalizing contracts, booking bands, and yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot to juggle. It's a lot of time. It's definitely a lot of stress. It's something that we do from a place of passion. Um, but yeah, it's just been a long run. Yeah, we know we need a break, and we kind of just are waiting to just experience that break for a while and see how that feels before we make any like hard decisions as to what we're gonna do for the future. But that being said, like we are brainstorming about the future here and there already because it is our nature and it is our pattern to always be brainstorming about Beardfest. We've built that pattern for 13 years now, so it just happens. We just think about it.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me clearly? Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's almost like, Jared said we get like 2 or 3 months off. It's almost like the amount of time we take off from it just basically dictates how much harder we have to work once we start working on it. Like for me, like one of my personal, I bet people don't even know exactly what we're all responsible for. And we all make a lot of big decisions together, but we have our areas that we handle. And one of the big things I'm in charge of is the talent buying, and which means like being in communication with bands and picking bands. And I have emails, text messages, DMs, calls. I have stuff coming in literally all year about people trying to play Beardfest, which is flattering in on one case and amazing on one hand. But it's like, you know, it, after pulling off an entire Beardfest, there's a big sense of wanting a break from it. And it's almost like the longer I wait to start booking bands again, the more hard work it is once that time comes. But I always need the time. There's several months where I'm just like, I don't want to hear about your band that wants to play Beardfest. I'm sure it's a sick band. I'm sure you're great. I'm sure I love you, but I don't care right now. I need a little bit of a break. So yeah, that's and to speak to the bigger picture sort of idea or question, it's like I think you know we've been doing this for a very long time, and although the methods and the approach has like evolved, we still, with how little time a year actually is to plan something that has so many moving parts, like it sounds like a lot of time, but it's not. And we feel like the three of us in particular, but other people on our staff as well and other part of our teams feel like some of the changes we feel like might be necessary in order for it to come back and feel good, we can't figure them out within that time. Like there's not enough time to actually figure out how to properly revamp it. So I think it's been a little bit of a growing thing of like, oh, we know something needs to change, but we don't have quite enough time to change it. So let's tweak as many things as we possibly can, but we're still going to be back in action no matter what. But this was, this as of now, we are saying we know we are not down to do that little tweaking and come back in action in 2026. That's what we do know.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that was perfectly said. Perfectly said. Like, I'll just be the staff representative there on that one. I'm like, yes, exactly. Exactly. The next question is, what can the community do to support or help?
I think showing up for this and submitting your questions was already a great thing. So if you're already here listening to this, and if you're someone who submitted a question, thank you. There are a lot of good there's a lot of really great questions that got submitted that are actually gonna make us think on our feet about things that we need to think about. We're gonna leave a form, probably the same form, this question or comment form on our website on the homepage once we do a little revamp. And so that'll just be there, and you could submit questions or suggestions like anytime. And we're not guaranteeing we're going to respond to those but we will look at them.
Yeah.
So you can submit ideas or questions there. Um, but yeah, I mean, suggesting new potential land where we could have it might be helpful. Um, and I guess subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Since you're watching us on YouTube right now. Um, I don't know.
This
I'm
whole
not
thing
coming up
will
with
lead.
anything else good. What do you guys
Well,
got?
it's a hard question to give any sort of like really solid tangible answer because like yeah to even go back to the last question, there's not an 100% yes we're definitely coming back in 2027. Maybe we are, maybe we're not sure. But with that being the case, it's hard to say what you can do to help. In particular, suggestions are welcome though. Connections to organizational groups or places where it really might make sense to do Beardfest, or ideas for like grants or ideas for I don't know, investors that might be in line. But it's hard. Like, to be frank, it's not like we have, and this might be part of another question, but we have actually had here and there people suggest or offer investment here and there. But we've always been pretty careful about what we're curating and what we're saying yes to, and what we're who we're bringing in, because we've had times where we bring people in and on higher level decision making, and we've realized like, wow, that wasn't the right choice. This person's energy doesn't really work with what we're going for. So we've been careful. We haven't deeply sought investments because like we've cared mostly about the community and the vibe and like what it is we're putting together. So yeah, so I don't know what people could do to help other than like just keep the community alive in whatever ways make sense for you. Like keep supporting each other's music and art, keep going to band shows, and keep making cool art and hosting events and go to wellness retreats. And I don't know, just keep the community energy alive to whatever extent feels like it resonates with you in your life. That's a big part of what us taking a break is, realizing that we the Beard Fest that it was no longer quite resonating with where we are in life. And so just like create, like continue the spark of community, but keep it like honest and current.
Yeah.
I
Uh, can I address two things in the chat real quick?
Sure.
Caleb says I'm gonna keep listening to Lunar Pull on repeat. Yeah, I mean, so listening to our music, seeing that people are still listening to our music, and just like generally like feeling enthusiasm from the community and having people telling us we really want to see this come back, that will probably have an effect on us, honestly.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely. It's nice.
yeah. And yeah, so like I don't know, keeping the buzz alive
Yeah.
probably will have an effect on us. But yeah, people picking up the torch would be really great to see as well. People
Mm.
throwing new events. And to that end, Garrett asked, is Anahata's taking a break too? What's the answer to that question,
No,
Rachel?
it's still happening. It will happen.
Anahata's is still happening. That's the event that Rachel runs. We promote it a lot through Beardfest, so maybe you guys know about it, but you want to say something about it real quick, Rachel?
This is about Beardfest Q&A. I
Just
appreciate I appreciate the ask, and that's really great. And there's a lot of overlap, and I'd love for anyone to be there to show up, and maybe you find yourself there, but yeah, it'll be there next year. And I want to talk more about Beer Fest, which was the
cool.
thing that inspired Anahatas for me. And I know
Yeah.
it's inspired a lot of people. And that's one of the things with this last question is, what can the community do to support or help? And I feel like the most important thing that somebody can do, or anyone in the community can do, is listen to this, because I'm sure that there's going to be different parts in this conversation where something will pop into the mind of someone listening and someone in the community, where everyone in the community is so creative, everyone, you know, And I'm sure there'll be some time that something will happen and you'll remember that thing that you heard, and you can go online and send in that suggestion or that recommendation. And I feel like that is also a huge way to support and help, is just keeping it like there and ready. And how can I help? And let me hear all these other things. And when you're out in the world, like let us know how, what you find, and then also how we can, support and stuff too.
Yeah, but seriously, Rachel doesn't want to self-promote, but I'm gonna give the cliff notes. Rachel is one of the most important people at Beardfest now. She's like Zach, Sam, and I have been the partners from the beginning, but Rachel is really the fourth. She's helping us with most things these days, and she founded Anahata's Purpose. I'm rocking the t-shirt. So that happens. That's an event you can go to, and Anthony is in the chat. He runs Threestival. That's another event that's happening multiple times a year that you can go to. And Lee, who's one of the partners of Threestival, runs our box office at Beardfest for the last couple of years. So those are two things you can check out.
And Lee also makes the most beautiful spreadsheets I've ever seen. I don't know how he does it. I would like a community event around for Lee to throw one around how he sets up his spreadsheets. Sorry.
Spreadsheets workshop.
There.
Let's go.
Yep. Cool. All right. Ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there a vice Beardfest or backup leadership team that could step in if the main team couldn't continue?
A vice
That's
Beardfest.
very humorously worded.
Well, it's actually funny because, like, technically, lots of the people on our staff are part of running most of the other events that you probably know of. There's Anahata's Purpose, and there's Electric Halloween, and there's Threestival, and Inclusion, and probably a bunch of others. And obviously there's no technical Vice Beardfest, but all these events are very intermingled in their leadership. They're all very involved with each other.
But I mean, if the question is about like leadership beyond Zach, Sam, and I, there is a lot of leadership beyond Zach, Sam, and I. Rachel is a prime example of that. Um, but like, and I know that that question was like maybe half serious, half a joke, but like, um, the answer is we don't have we don't have a team that's so ready to just take over it if the three of us were to leave. But we do have a lot of people that can potentially step up and take on more responsibility in the future. And that is something we want to continue to cultivate, especially if we're going to come back. So,
yeah. It's, I mean, again, going back to what I was saying earlier about the short like turnover time between Beardfests being one of the issues is like we have every year actually there like people like Rachel lots of people step up more, have more responsibility, and we are able to delegate more and know that things are going to get done greatly or in a great way. However, it's still in a position where so much of it really, the way it's all structured, so much of it still falls on our shoulders that even with a great amount of delegation, it almost in some degree, in some way, like I found it almost creates new things for us to deal with. It's like, okay, well, this is handled. Now that frees me up to handle this other thing, which again, in a certain way is great, but it's also just, it hasn't felt like much less work.
Right.
Even though we actually are technically passing off a lot of things, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like we're still like, it's
Mm-hmm.
more
delegated than it's ever been, and overseeing people is very difficult and a lot of work.
Yes.
Right. Here, let's interact with the chat here. Can you guys guess how many paid staff we have for Beardfest? Drop guesses in the chat. Let's see how close
definitely drop some guesses.
And maybe we can take the next question as
also here just a thing, because we haven't done much live streaming, so the flow of this is something that we are getting used to. Maybe hitting things like a little quicker, and there are some questions in the chat that we can probably hit really quickly without going super deeply. For example, somebody said, how many people were in attendance at Beardfest 2025? I think we can briefly kind of give the answers to those sorts of things.
Yeah. Well, the paid attendance was about 1,700 or 1,750, and then the between artists, staff, vendors, workshop leaders, etc. Probably closer to 2,250 or even close to 2,500.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And attendance was a little down this year from I think our peak was 1850, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or
Paid,
might have been
paid
1,900.
attendance.
Yeah.
We got some guesses.
We
Guesses.
got
The
some
first guess
guesses.
was
Oh,
zero.
because of the
Zero is
staff.
incorrect.
Uh,
Um,
and then
another guess is
4.
200. Another is 236. Maybe four, and that would be Sound Folks. No, no. Yeah, it's well over 100.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have something like, if you include all the security and medical and the parking staff, it's got to be close to like 130, 140. And then
Easy.
there's 100 volunteers on top of that.
Yeah.
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 I guess 8 people. Wow. No, no, we're paying hundreds of, well, over 100 people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and it's also I think there's the aspect like the team has grown so much. And then there's also that level of when you are overseeing groups of people, there's also a lot of people, even with them stepping up into different roles, there's lots of things that aren't their responsibility or aren't their job anymore. So I feel like a lot of us too want to like take things from people. Like we know that this is above what you're already going above and beyond. And I think that that's kind of a hard thing with finding like other elevated management to get in there. Cause it's like, it'd be nice if we could all focus on our own thing, but we can't. Even with
Right.
delegating things out, we're still overseeing multiple things and we all work together really well, but it is still just a lot. It's a lot of people running around.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
we're
fact
at the
that we can
stage
rely on
where,
them is great.
what's that?
And the fact that we can rely on them is great.
Yes. We're
Like
at the
that's
stage where we don't even know all of the staff. I'm the one who hires. I do more hiring than anyone. That's part of my responsibilities. But I'm showing up to staff meeting on Wednesday when the whole staff is there, and I'm like, I don't know who half these people are because I hired someone who hired them.
Yep.
And then, yeah, and then managing that situation presents its own challenges. Now public speaking and like how can I influence this team of people who I don't even know half of,
yeah.
um, to do the right thing. It's a fun challenge, but anyways, we
Why
have a
don't we
lot.
hit the next question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to actually combine, I'm going to read 2 questions back to back because they kind of hold hands. Okay. So the first one is from Dylan. If it were to be continued after the hiatus year, what are the organizers' plans, if any, to bring in new leadership and organizing heads to help shoulder responsibilities that could make operations manageable and continue on the trajectory of growth and innovation? I know we really kind of touched on all of this, so I'm going to add the second question in here is would you allow another group from the community to run the festival while the band simply performs? It's a dream. All the smiles that you guys just
Not yeah, well, just performing has always been the dream. And you see, like the Disco Biscuits don't run Camp Bisco themselves, and Lotus doesn't run Summer Dance themselves. So there are people who do this, but yeah, I think I mean, there has been a tremendous amount of evolution in how much we all do over the years, and it's probably like a more cohesive thing than it ever has been before. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm at a little bit of a loss for what it would mean to completely give up the the reins of Beardfest to a totally different management team. You guys have
Yeah,
any
there's
insight there?
my initial instinct with that is that it like at what point does it become just another event? Like if another management team is coming in and doing it. It's a hard question to answer. I again, like as Sam just said, like just just being able to focus on the music. I mean, I've done everything in my power to make that what happens when I get to Beardfest for years, and arguably I've had the most ability to do that, and I'm thankful for that. But for us as a band, Beard Beard Space, yeah, we've I mean, Beardfest has always been a great platform for us and a great place for us to do what we do, but it's also been really hard for us to feel while we're getting everything together for the festival and have a million things to do up until the very last minute, like remembering all of our parts and like learning new songs and coming up with new music. It's like it's very, 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 very tough and stressful on us. So yeah, being able to like give the reins over to other people that can possibly like really manage a lot of stuff, it does sound appealing, but it's a very hard to know what that would look like and would require a lot of discussion. And
Yeah.
like I said, there's a part of me that's like, when at what point is it just like, okay, well then maybe this just isn't Beard Fest anymore. It's something else. But I don't know.
I just want to add that like I guess we've probably done a lot of like talking about how hard it is to run, but like of course a festival is hard to run. Of course anything worth doing is hard, but it's not like I you know, if I may say so, I think it's pretty well run and goes pretty smooth. It's not quite that it's just like, oh my God, this is such a crazy thing to run. It's that us as individuals, you know, we all are trying to be professional musicians who are gigging and teaching and touring and recording and doing all this stuff. And I think that that is all our primary identities as people, rather than festival organizers. If our primary identity and the way that we thought of ourselves was as festival organizers, I don't think we'd be saying, "Oh my God, it's so hard to run." You know,
Right.
Mm,
I think it's pretty
yeah,
well run and goes pretty smooth. It's
yeah,
grown into that over the years.
Yeah. I always feel on site at Beardfest that if I could just split myself into two different people, I'd be fine. Um, it's really the stress of having to switch hats back and forth constantly that it just jars me, and I'm just ugh. Um, but yeah, I think we all experience that, right? Like leading up to the festival, we're trying to learn all this music for Beard Space, like 4 hours of complicated music and rehearse it. But we're also, it's basically the situation is whenever we're in a rehearsal, we're getting behind on phone calls and emails. Like that's how fast they're
yep,
coming in. It's like we spend 2 hours locked in at rehearsal. By the end of rehearsal, my phone is like a fucking nightmare. And then anytime I'm catching up on that stuff, I'm like, I really should be practicing or else I'm gonna mess up my parts. And that continues during the festival. So yes, getting to the point where we have people who can really, really, really hold it down to where we don't have to do any of that. It is a dream, and we have put a lot of stuff in place to try to get there. Um, yeah, it's just easier said than done. I know, like I've talked to Jeremy Sean from Pigeons Playing Ping Pong about this a lot. They have their festival Dome Fest, and they've struggled with the same thing because they started Dome Fest much in the same way we started Beard Fest, and they wanted to focus on being musicians and being a band, and they've struggled with what level of management do we bring in. And I know they brought in corporate management before and maybe weren't the most satisfied with it, and then they took time off and regrouped, and I'm not sure exactly what it is that they how they came back. I'll have to ask him, but I'm pretty sure they came back this year. But
yeah,
yeah, trying to fit, and it's also like if we were to release the reins all the way to other people, then would we still be holding the financial risk, or would we be like that's another scary thing, right? Giving over the reins while still holding the financial risk. So that's and none of these things are insurmountable. It's just taking a year off will help us to figure this all out for
yep,
sure.
There's a comment in here that I really love that kind of I feel sums up some of this what you guys just said is Beardfest is kind of a physiological extension of beard space. So it would require a lot of trust for you to relinquish management control. Like there is that aspect of it too. Like not only is it
absolutely.
like there's even in the questions and just the experiences while we're there and talking to people after, it's become this place that just feels really right. And passing that over to someone, it's still a very sacred thing that you guys have created here. And I know that it's important to keep those baseline things in check.
Yeah. I mean, that goes back to what my answer kind of was like, and like, I mean, I appreciate you using the word sacred and all of that, and I appreciate all the positivity people put out, and I believe it. But also, I'm not even trying to like put it on, not even on like a pedestal of it being sacred and our ideas are sacred or anything. It's just like it just is an extension of us and who we are and what we do, and it's a particular way of doing things, and with it being so closely attached to the name of the festival and having it start in my backyard, and like every step along the way being so like like tied to us. I think if it's still going to be called Beardfest and it's still going to happen, like, and other people are running it would have to still feel like it's somehow in line with like what
Yeah.
our community values and our values as people and stuff. And I'm not even saying they're the right values or anything. I'm not saying anything about them other than they just are. And that Beardfest has been tied to Beard Space as a band and all of that for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just want to touch on one of the practical realities of like replacing ourselves as managers of the festival. Like the so one of the realities is that running a festival is a thin margin business, and it's very risky, and there's more variables outside of our control than in maybe other businesses. Like other businesses are not as subject to, the weather and whether it's going to rain that weekend, which is going to make it so that a significant amount of people less come than it would be if the weather was looking great. And some businesses run all year round, so that if they do have a rainy weekend, that is offset, or the risk is kind of like distributed amongst just like more time in operation. And
Right.
because it's a thin margin business, so for example, this year, uh, in the last so in the last couple of years, my specific role has kind of crystallized into marketing coordinator more so than it has ever before. And this last year, I was thinking to myself, like how much would it cost to completely replace myself in that role, to just bring in a marketing coordinator? Now, there are marketing coordinators out there, somebody could do it, but it's a gem of a person who you can bring into an operation and they do a complicated necessary thing well. Those people are hard to find, and there can be a lot of trial and error in finding them, and it's taken us 13 years to have as great of a team as we have. But also, just like when I think, what would it take to bring in somebody to just do my role, and is the money really there to replace myself? And sometimes it's, on a good year it could be there, and because we shrank this past year, it wouldn't have been, so it's kind of an inconsistent, unpredictable, thin margin business. And yeah, I don't know if it's practical to bring in a bunch more managers at a high level financially.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, so we're talking a lot about the challenges and struggles right now, and none of it is to be like this is unsurmountable. We're just literally having a candid conversation exploring this
And you're
stuff.
answering the questions.
What's that?
You're answering the
Yeah,
questions.
yeah, we're just trying to, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And like it is fruitful for us to discuss this openly and in front of you guys.
Yeah.
And hear your feedback. That's a thing that like that you can do that helps. Is be a reflection for us on
Yeah.
this stuff. But yeah, like Sam was saying, basically with Beardfest, we're putting all of our eggs in one basket with this business. It's like literally, it's all the eggs are in this one little basket, and we're just trying to protect them. But there's so many things. It's yeah, the weather, forest fires, weird political and economic events out in the world. Like there's so much random shit that can affect ticket sales. And if the ticket sales deviate by 100 or 200 tickets in any direction, that has like a massive impact on how it goes for us from a financial point of view. Like
Yep.
the difference between making money and losing money is could be 100 tickets. The difference between making a healthy amount of money and something that's like, holy shit, we worked all year on this to make this is very small. And something that is different about Beardfest than even a lot of other festivals is this all the eggs in one basket thing. Like I talked to Ryan, who runs Submersion Festival, and he's more of a music business guy. He runs other events and promotes other shows throughout the year. So in that way, all of his eggs are not in one basket. Um, and when I talked to Jeremy from Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, and he's running Domefest, Pigeons is a very active band that brings in a lot of money. So in that sense, even though they only run one festival, their overall business is a lot bigger. But for us, because Beard Space isn't that active, except for within Beardfest at this stage, and because me, Zach, and Sam are fully focused on being musicians, um, yeah, when it comes to Beardfest, all of our eggs are in one basket. And I wonder, yeah, maybe that's something we can figure out how to address. I don't know. I don't know exactly how, but something to consider.
I
Yeah.
remember one time Anthony from Threestival told me that like they do several smaller events a year, and we do one larger event, and he was just saying how it distributes the risk, and I was, yeah, that's just like that's a model, that's a potential solution for this kind of thing. But
Yeah.
but yeah, like the business we run, it all plays out on one weekend. So it looks bigger than the business is, but the actual size of the business is akin to like the small pizza shop down the street, actually smaller in terms of, just like revenue and expenses and all that stuff.
Yeah, and you know, again, to touch on the fact that this isn't what we do, like the festival management, the overall festival management, like it's stuff we've just like learned to do like over the years. Like this has to be done better, figure it the fuck out. Like we've stepped into our various roles and figuring stuff out, but again, we're not trying to do this full year round. So we've talked about like, let's do a October event, let's do a Beard Fest here and like in a different location and all that. We talk about those things and they sound exciting, but the reality is like the amount of effort and work involved to manage the event versus to be an artistic part of it as musicians, which is ultimately where we started and still where our deepest passion lies. It's not there for us. The excitement, like we don't want to run 4 versions of Beard Fest a year. Like it's enough. It's been hardly, and it's just doing one has been enough of that. So yeah, that's having all those eggs in one basket has been a big thing. Also, really quick, I'm going to answer this random question by Garrett Starkey because he's asking, does Lauren Hill need you guys for a world tour that interferes with Beardfest as well?
Ha.
Or would that be something that couldn't be said till announced? Well, it's funny because I'm actually sitting in her driveway waiting to start rehearsal right now, which technically started at 4, but it's okay. Here I am. and and the answer to that is I would have no idea because we find out about things very last minute. And the bigger answer is that I don't think would be enough of a reason to not, if we really still wanted to do it, that wouldn't be the deciding factor necessarily. Like we had talked, like even when just Sam was in Miss Hill's band before I was involved, we had talked about like, well, if something really comes up and Sam really can't be there, if we're doing Beardfest, we're still doing Beardfest regardless. So yeah,
Yeah,
we wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
and just to touch on that from my personal experience, uh, Lauren Hill has had things that conflicted with Beardfest every year that I've been in the band. I didn't play at the BET Awards because of Beardfest. I didn't do a Denmark Sweden run because of Beardfest. Something else the year before
Apple
that.
Music, right? Didn't you miss
Apple
Apple
Music. I
Music?
Oh
didn't
my
play the
God,
Apple
the
Music Awards
Apple,
because of
yeah,
Beardfest.
Forgot
Right,
about
right,
Yeah.
that.
right.
in which
So
she
so
won
so
album of the best album ever.
And
Yes. Album of the ever.
ever. Mhm.
right, right. So every year I took a pause from being in that band to do Beardfest.
Yeah. I'm glad that y'all saw that. I was gonna bring that one up, but yeah, I'm glad you
Yeah.
guys touched on that one. Then there is another question in here, and it's actually lines up perfectly with what the next question is. Someone was asking about Paradise. I'm gonna talk about the venue and the logistics. Carissa, Garrett, whole bunch of other people. What happened with Paradise Lakes? What are the limitations due to the venue? what limitations does this venue have? Should I start?
You can, yeah, if you feel like you got something.
Well, having another festival at a totally different location that has a lot of infrastructure is something that makes running a festival a lot easier. And a lot of the people on your team, well, how many was it? 150 people that are on the team? A lot of them are being brought in because it's to make Paradise safe and make it logistically work. And it's a lot. It's a lot of people and putting out a lot of fires because a lot of people were bringing on that property too.
Yeah.
And so I'm
Can
just
I
going
add
to start off with infrastructure, and I'm just going to let you guys take it.
can I add one sentence before Jer probably takes the bulk of this question?
Yeah.
There was not like a big falling out with Paradise Lakes.
No.
There's not like a big thing that happened. There's always been difficulties and you know, it's expensive, but like there was not like some big thing that happened. We're cool
Mhm.
with them.
Very
All
true.
right,
Yeah.
Jared can take it.
Yeah. Well, Zach, you're sideways. I don't know why, but uh, I have worked with Rachel on Anahata's Purpose on the event that she founded. And like she was saying, we had it at a full service venue. This was a venue that had a grounds crew of their own. They actually took care of all the trash themselves. We didn't have to do anything with that. They made sure the venue was clean for us when we arrived, and they cleaned it up after we left. I mean, we had to clean up any big things that were left behind, but things like vacuuming, taking out the trash, and just basic ground maintenance, their crew did it.
Yeah.
The amount of there was lighting already on site. Um,
There's beds. There was,
there,
I
yeah,
mean,
there's cabins and beds. There's a
yeah,
kitchen, right?
there's
So
there's more
at
than one
Paradise
bathhouse.
Lakes, what's that?
There's more than one bathhouse.
There's bathrooms. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
lots of bathrooms.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like at Paradise Lakes, we have to like hang lighting in the paths, for example. That's actually a pretty big task. We have to hang a lot of lighting. Because otherwise it's just dark. We have to rent a ton of porta potties and get them pumped constantly, and we have to have a grounds crew that goes around and stocks them with toilet paper. And that's one of the things that like we can never keep on top of. We keep throwing more money at it and more people at it, and
We have to
it's
hire our own electrician, our
we
own
have to
plumber.
hire our own electrician, and our electrician that we hire winds up working around the clock. Like no matter who it is, it's been different people over the years. Whoever that person is, they have to be a really good sport. They have to be a really good electrician. They have to be willing to work around the clock for like a third of what they would usually make. Um, and they have to be, they're like half dead by the end of the event because every electric box is breaking every 5 seconds throughout the entire event. And this year we had not only the electrician we hired, but I'll shout out to Birdman, who's an electrician who's just part of the Beard fam, who was just willing to help. I think he was on the volunteer team, but he worked way more than a volunteer is supposed to.
Yeah.
And then we had a grounds crew as well that are electrically literate that were helping. It took like 5 people running around all the time, breaking their backs to keep the electrical infrastructure working. We had to rent a generator that cost a ton of money at the last second because our electrician was just like, "Hey, I'm not confident that this electrical system will not fail. So can we just have a generator big enough to power the entire campground just sitting there, just in case?"
The campground. Wait. The power to the whole campground did go out.
That was a
Actually,
municipal. That was a municipal power outage. That
okay.
had nothing to do with site
Yes,
power.
yes,
But
it was.
everyone did have a good freak out about it when it happened.
True.
Yeah, and then the bathhouse at Paradise Lakes always clogging, always overflowing. It's our responsibility to pay for that for whatever reason. And we just I think we just got to a point in our lives where we're just like we just don't want to deal with this level of literal shit, like shit overflowing from a bathhouse, systems failing, the stress of all that, and also paying a pretty high price to be there. it's like we're paying on the front end and on the back end, right? Because we have to pay to be there, but we also have to pay to upgrade the infrastructure. We have to pay people to maintain it. And then we
Build
have
a
to pay things like plumbers at the last minute to fix stuff, and it's just too much. And yeah, and having seen what Rachel's gotten to experience at venues that are full service, we're like, all right, like the amount of stress that that would lift off of us and our audience and our staff would be so massive. And it just feel like we've dealt with we've dealt with a less than ideal. Oh yeah, also the kitchen, right? We have to feed we have to create thousands of meals collectively for our hundreds of staff and volunteers and all of our artists. We have to feed for 4 days, but there's literally no kitchen infrastructure. So whoever does catering, which has been various people over the years, they have to have portable kitchen stuff to bring, refrigerators, stoves, ovens, everything. They have to bring it all in, and it's a lot of work and it's a lot of expense. And whoever, various people have done the cooking, it's been backbreaking for them. They've been stressed out up to their eyeballs, no matter who it is, because it's just so hard to do without the infrastructure. So that's why we're just kind of at a point in our lives. Like we've said, we have a lot going on. We're just like, we can't do this way anymore. It's too much.
um
And it's one of the things that makes the festival financially difficult is how expensive Paradise is. But I also do just want to shout out that there are ways in which they've been very, very good to us over the year. Most prominently, that the way that we landed there possibly saved the festival at the time. In 2014,
Absolutely saved the festival.
yeah, in 2014, we had to move locations the day of, and we and and Zach's mom uh kind of like formed the relationship with Paradise Lakes, and we moved there like on a whim. Literally people at the old location directing cars to the new one, and the festival was saved. And without their trust and kindness, like who knows if we'd be here over 10 years later. So we, yeah, like there is like a good amount of mutual respect there. And it's one of the most awesome festival venues. I've played a lot of festivals, and it's one of the most awesome festival
you
venues that's out there, at least on the
Yeah.
East Coast that I know of.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
I
Yeah.
would oh,
There's a lot of love. There's a lot of love. Like relationships can be complicated and there can still be a lot of love. And they have let us have weddings there for our core members. And we've been through a lot together. It just feels like it just feels like it's time for an upgrade given where we're at in life and where the festival's at and where the infrastructure is at. Um, there's some small chance that it could be a Paradise Lakes again, because like Sam said, it is the coolest venue ever. Um, but a lot would have to change. I don't know if that's possible to happen, the changes that we would need. But you never say never, you know?
oh, yeah, it's all possible. uh
maybe
I've,
maybe
I've had
maybe the next. Oh, sorry. Go on.
oh, no, I was gonna say I don't want to get like too into it, but I can absolutely bring up times where I have needed the property owners for something that was like structurally going wrong, and they just show up on a tractor like right as I needed them. And I'm like, perfect. And I know that there's been times when we've needed to get people out after the festival and people just wouldn't leave, and they came over and they're like, get off of my property. And it was really, really great that they've supported us in many, many ways. Since we're kind of on the property venue topic, I know we've had a few comments and such in here, and I think was it Caleb saying, I think the primitive feel of Paradise contributes a lot to the feel of Beardfest, but I understand needing better infrastructure to run a bigger festival. And I just wanted to, I guess, touch on what we were all talking about a little bit earlier, where I've looked at a lot of festivals, like properties around, and there are the in-between places, right? Like those venues could exist. And if you happen to know of a spot that you think that would be really great, I would love for you to email me, beardfest.coordination@gmail.com. And I'll totally check out I've had a bunch that I've checked out before over the years, and we'll make sure that the email's up there. So if you know of a place that you think would work really well, shoot it my way. Shoot it my way.
Sunday Double says, are there any venues that are on the short list of possible future homes for Beard? My personal answer to that is that none come to mind in particular, but like, I think Paradise Lakes has been like a big part of why we've been able to have such a great event and why we've been able to grow. And I've played at a lot of festivals, and the idea of having Beardfest at some random campground would be, I think we just wouldn't do that. So, if anybody has any suggestions of other magical spots,
I'm writing down Garrett's
let
suggestion.
us know about magical spots.
Yes.
Bring us the magic.
Jeff Jeff says if I won the lottery, the first thing I would do is purchase the property and upgrade the infrastructure. Let's go.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Well,
that would be
Jeff,
that
I
would
hope
be
that you start
fantastic.
playing the lottery like every day. Just to bring that about.
Mhm.
Actually, I don't, because I think that the lottery is not a good use of your money, but
Yeah.
but hey, that would be great.
That would be great. I'm sorry, I was reading the things that there was a campground suggested, but then someone else was like, it's all camp.
Bramblewood. Yes,
Ramblewood.
that's
Well,
definitely on the list.
That's where Anahata's moved this past year. We had a great experience there. And yeah, send them my way and I'll pitch them to the boys. All right. I'll do some digging and I'll pitch it to the boys.
Maybe
I'm
do
big
we want
on
to
us
move
not
off?
breaking our backs.
Yeah. Maybe we move off Paradise next.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyways, wait, final thought on Paradise. We freaking love the place. We're
Yes.
grateful to have been there. There's the slightest chance it could be there again. But we definitely don't want to promise that. And
There's too many things you can't
if
control.
it's not there again, we will all cry about it at some point for real.
Yeah, I got married there. I did. It happened,
As
and
did,
it was
as
magical.
did your mom.
As did my mom.
Yeah.
As did Ethan.
Ethan, yeah.
Yeah, and again, shout out again to the whole Miller family for the relationship we maintained for years, and a lot of times, Scott breaking his back to make things work for us and working hard, and we had a lot of amazing times there, and we definitely will always have a seemingly familial bond with them, but yeah.
It's fun stuff. It's fun stuff. I'll figure it out. We already kind of answered the next question, but I just wanted to shout out Eli in general because they've been a great member of the team, and they pretty much asked the same kind of thing during the break. Are you open to suggestions? So we just touched on that. And then Greenie, we love our Greenie. How would the community feel about changing the festival dates to cooler months, like May or August or September, maybe somewhere with a pool?
I feel like there's this excitement and when the weather starts to turn and when it's the beginning of festival season and that the festival's at the back of the season, it feels different. I always preferred having Beardfest early in the season.
Yeah. It's like it's home there. It's comfy there.
More of a weather risk in the fall.
That's also very true.
Also, just like gigs in the summer, like after Beardfest, it's like, oh, like now we get back to, our lives. I have this gig, I have this tour, whatever, you know.
I will say from throwing a festival in the fall that I feel like for Beard, it wouldn't be as good just because of the limited sunshine.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it being earlier though, like a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
We
It was hot this year.
went with it was very hot. We went with like the last possible weekend, I think, in June, and it was a steamboat. So maybe earlier in June, because like I agree with Sam that like late spring, early summer excitement of like, yes, everything, flowers are alive, and everyone's got their hot sauce on.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if we have any other little questions, because the last few that I have are just some community love and gratitude. So before we step into that, I just want to see if there's any questions that we may have missed,
Yeah,
or if you guys have seen any. I did
feel
see
free to
someone
type
asked, but I'll
more.
post it after. That's a yes. I'm sorry, what was that?
I was just gonna say, feel free to ask more questions in the chat if we're
Yeah,
running to the end of our list.
we are. We're getting to the gratitude, but there's still, I have a couple of them.
Can I
So
read Holden's though?
oh yeah, Holden's got a question. Yeah,
It's not a
what's
question. It's
a statement?
uncharacteristic self-promotion, which I'm all about. He said, shameful plug to the fest for bringing vendor Wi-Fi to the entire vending area off of satellite. Yes, indeed. And it was Holden himself who accomplished that great.
Yes. And also after years and years of talking radios,
Yes.
got us to do that upgrade, which was
Yes.
fantastic.
The comms were lit this year.
They were.
Yeah, Holden's a king. Holden's a certified king.
It's true.
Holden is a
Wear that
miracle
crown.
worker, says Jeff.
Yeah.
Shout out
And
to Jeff, one of the unsung heroes of the entire festival.
Tell us about
Absolutely.
it.
Huge appreciation to Jeff
Anti-bozo.
Ogata.
What does Jeff do,
Anti-bozo.
Sam? Tell the people.
Jeff is the leader of the documentation team. He organizes all the festival's data, is one of the videographers and photographers. And if you've ever gone to the hospitality area and seen the desk filled with wires and tech, it is Jeff who runs that place
Oh yeah.
and does so much when it comes to um yeah, like when you see the promo videos and all the sights and sounds of Beardfest captured so beautifully, Jeff has a huge hand in that and has for a long time. Thank you so much, Jeff, for all you've done.
thank you for
Yes.
coordinating.
Thank you, Jeff.
Oh yes. Jeff also is the backstage espresso guy.
Jeff
Yeah.
shows up every year with his own espresso machine. And every time he sees me, he goes, "You want an espresso?"
Yes.
Absolutely.
He always knows we need that.
He literally keeps Beardfest alive. He does. Keeps us all going. He's the battery.
And yeah, and he said something about it earlier in the chat about Beard Space being one of his favorite bands. And again, it's that's sentiments like that are very appreciated. And Jeff has always shown a great love for the music we make and a great support for it. And coming out, even though he doesn't live local, he lives closer to Washington, D.C. He's come out many times to come and support us and our other projects. And we really, really, we appreciate the love and, the vote of confidence. So thank you, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett asks, is a mini beard or some sort of spin-off fest or city beard possible in 2026? My personal answer would be not in 2026. I feel like we need a break. But one of the visions of coming back is smaller, you know? So I mean, mini beard at the time, the funny thing is that it was the biggest beard yet.
Yeah.
The story
always the
behind
funniest
behind that is that we didn't was that the mass gathering ordinances in 2021 were originally just like 500 people, maybe less at the beginning, and we weren't sure what they were going to be by the time the festival happened, and so we planned and budgeted and everything for 500 people, and then the restrictions were lifted entirely by the time the festival happened, and there were 1,500 people there, which at the time was the most we had ever had.
Yes.
Like a few hundred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It grew big.
That was a big leap in growth.
There's so there's a question from Sean. Any chance in lieu of a festival this year we can crank out some more of that Beardfest live footage from over the years or like a documentary?
Oh,
We've always talked
I-
about a documentary.
I
have.
do like that idea or some variation of it. Another thing that we could do that we've talked about is another Beard Space live album. So we have Intent to Express Volume 1 and 2. We could make Intent to Express Volume 3, and that could be
And
a
4.
select, yeah, and 5 and 6. But we can make a selection of like our favorite live takes of various songs from over the years. Particularly there is no version of Sense on any streaming service, which is a problem. One idea that because that is like our pretty much our go-to live song. Like that's the one song that's in pretty much every Beard Space set. Um, and I think I've had this idea to make an EP called Sense Essentials, which is just like a number
Every
of
version
different
of
versions of Sense.
Yeah, I
But
like it.
I would love that. That would be a really cool project to do to put together some kind of a live from Beardfest album. Yeah,
I support that.
yeah.
You know. I'm gonna do one of these last ones as we're coming to the end, and then I know some questions are coming in too, but I have
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dip in and out just to let everyone know real quick because unfortunately I am already 2 hours late for rehearsal. But yeah,
fair.
Oh, can you get Miss Hill to say hi to everyone?
no, I can't. She won't be. She probably won't be here for another 8 hours.
Okay.
But go ahead. Sorry, Rachel.
No, you're good. So we
Are we
have
gonna?
a
Wh-
comment from Dave Shea. God bless, dudes. Take some time off. To be honest, we were getting spoiled with world-class musicians being available to play in the woods of South Jersey. You guys are getting the kinds of gigs that are more appropriate for your skill level, and it will be a can't miss event when Beardfest returns.
That's so nice.
Thank you, sir. That's very
Yeah.
kind.
I just really, really, really love that one. We have Timothy, who says, y'all showed me and so many people so many amazing and enlightening things that we will never forget. And I know wizards need time to recharge their magic. So they want to know, what was your favorite year and set versus sets or closest?
Favorite year?
What was our favorite
Favorite
year
year of
Yeah,
what?
there's a little random question at the end of it.
Beardfest.
That's a
of
good
the
statement.
festival? This past year, and
Yeah.
yeah, this past year, the closing ceremony, the extra day, the Lauren Hill stuff, for sure.
I want to say this past year, and then also I want to say 2014, which was the year where we had to move the entire festival after it had already started, and it was crazy and it was wild, but it was like it felt like such a feat of just like intense. It felt so great to have pulled it off. And it felt like it honestly, to a degree, like the community was already building, but that was the year that, to me, the super strong sense of like, wow, this is way more than just a concert. This is way more than just some sick art in the woods. This is like a serious group of like, like so many people chipped in who were even ticket buyers because, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but essentially the festival started in one location and we got shut down and had to move. The festival had already technically started. People were coming in who were like, "Oh yeah, what's up? We're gonna set up our stuff, Beardfest, sick." And we're like, "You want it to happen? We got to move like 5 miles away, and I need you to put this trash can in your truck." Thanks, bro. um, it was insane, and there was nothing like the. I don't think there was anything like the energy that we experienced at that Beardfest. But that one for its own reasons, and then yes, this past one, of course, for the more obvious, tangible reasons.
Mm. Musically, musically, I think the Lauryn Hill set was probably the highlight for me. And for anyone who doesn't know, that full set is on YouTube on this channel. And I listen to it somewhat regularly, and I just really enjoy hearing it and seeing it. It was just like such a unbelievable thing that happened. Um, and yeah, musically, besides that, yeah, I have to say probably one of the really early years, maybe like 2014, musically also. I remember playing Intent to Express and watching the audience just like bounce. And I think it was like maybe the first time that I experienced that with like original music and having an audience that stoked about it. And, that was just a moment of like, whoa, people actually give a shit about this. That's crazy. Um, and as far as the experience that I had, like overall for the festival, I actually really, really loved last year. Um, for me. That was a highlight. So yeah.
Yeah, the extra day and closing ceremony were, I think when that happened, we were like, "Why? How has this not always been a part of this?" Something that comes to here's another thing that comes to mind. Actually, it's a bit of a tangent, but it's something that never happened. I hope you guys are cool with me telling telling this story, but
Uh-oh.
um, it's something that didn't happen. We've had a colorful history of April Fools
Oh yeah.
um in this festival. And what we almost well okay so we threw the Baja Men at the top of the April Fool's poster one year, and it resulted in us almost booking them on the 20th anniversary of Who Let the Dogs Out. That would have been sick. Imagine dog parade to the Baja Men set on the 20th anniversary of Who Let the Dogs Out. Didn't quite happen, but it almost happened. We were like in talks with them.
Yeah, and speaking of good memories, Adam Neely, who's this incredible musician and YouTuber, also manifested himself, or we manifested him at Beardfest via an April Fool's joke. And I specifically remember, we would have these text threads where we're brainstorming the April Fool's jokes, and then Sam will basically just run with it and make whatever he wants to make. He'll use some of our suggestions and others he won't use. And I remember he sent out the draft. It was like probably 11 p.m. the night before April Fool's. He sent out the draft, and it did not have the Adam Neely joke on it. And
Yeah,
I was like,
I
Sam,
just like didn't think it was funny.
right? He didn't like the joke. It had been my idea because I was following this group called the Shit Posting of Jazz to Come, which was really epic at that time on Facebook. And Adam Neely was like the star of that group. Everyone was always talking about Adam Neely and the lick. And Adam Neely himself was always popping in there and commenting and being a really good sport about it. Um, and I was like, Sam, I know it's 11 p.m. already and you're probably trying to go to bed, but I really, really think you should put this Adam Neely joke on there. And he was like, oh, dude, come on. Like, I already worked on this all day. I'm done, you know? And I was like, please, please put it on there. I really have a feeling that it'll reach him. And so he caved and he added it, and then it reached Adam Neely, and then Adam Neely has been to Beardfest multiple times, giving workshops, performing.
Yeah.
So good memories.
I
Shout
remember
out.
the first time he came and you guys were all like so excited.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my God. Oh
Workshop.
my
Working
God.
on getting y'all to the workshop. Like I just remember that being like a
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Like you
Yes.
guys needed to be there.
Yes.
Mhm.
Shout
Music
out
nerd
to
stuff.
sh shout out to Kenny G for being a good sport and making fun of himself. Shout out to Tony Hawk.
Yes.
This, yeah, so good. I remember what was the Shakira year, and I was in the shed. I was in the infamous Beardfest storage shed,
Uh,
like leading up to it, and you guys were rehearsing in Sam's house, and it was just Hips Don't Lie on repeat. As I was like in there, it's like, all right, let's
Yeah.
go, like pulling things out of the different areas and like lugging stuff up. And I think at one point I even had to call you, Jared, and you had to like stop, and like I heard like all the music stop for a second as I was on the phone with you, and then it all started up again. And it's just there's just so much you guys put into all of these things, and so much like love and funny, silly things, and so much work, and it's just cool. It's just cool.
yeah. Hey, Andy Pye says Jojo Mayer or Corey Henry. Yes.
Yeah.
The Corey Henry performance at Beardfest was absolutely one of the best ever, if not the best ever performance at Beardfest. It happened. Very few people got to catch it because he was like 2 hours late. He missed his set time. We put him on at like 3 a.m. and he played until sunrise. I literally got up out of bed. I was in bed and I heard them start and I was like, oh, I want to see Corey Henry so bad, but I'm so tired. And then I heard them start and I was just like, wow, it sounds so good. And I got up out of bed and I partied until sunrise with them. Yeah, epic.
Christina says, grateful for platform to do theatrical performances with Miss Cantaloupe. Miss Cantaloupe has been a highlight of many beard fests, and it's been a highlight for me being part of it during the times that I was. Shout out
Oh
to Miss Cantaloupe.
Mhm.
yeah. Do you have more Google Form stuff, Rachel?
I have one more.
And some people submitted Google Form questions while we've been on this call, so maybe we'll check back to there in a sec too.
I do have that up, so I can do that. No problem.
Oh, we lost Zach officially.
He gave us the warning. He let us know. He let us know. Yeah, I can actually. Here's one is
As long as Sam's shed is full of stuff, Beardfest remains alive. My
I-
shed is full of stuff.
we've done it
Much to
so
my
much better over
dismay.
the past couple
Been
years. All
trying to
right.
do something about it, but
You have so much more space than you did a couple years ago. I saw Erica's
yeah.
too.
Yes. Thank you.
But yes, I get really defensive over it, and it's your shed.
Beardfest
You're
lives in the
allowed to
shed.
also be
Please
mad.
don't
I'm like,
come rob
I've been
me.
trying so
Rachel,
hard.
Rachel appropriated ownership of Sam's
The,
shed.
the, the,
A
the,
little bit.
the
I have
other
a
day,
key.
me and Hallie pulled in the driveway and like the shed door was open and we joked about like the Beardfest sign like showing up on Craigslist like later that day.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
So I do have a few, there are a few more questions in here, which are good.
The joke being it being stolen, by the way, not me selling it. I would absolutely not
No,
do that.
absolutely, yes.
Yeah, and if anyone out there has that one Beardfest sign that did get stolen, please give it back to
Oh
us.
yeah, somebody stole like the
Why,
main
Oh,
road
that's
sign.
right.
why would you do that? So rude. Please return.
That one, that was pre-Panini, wasn't that? That was like 2019, I think.
Maybe.
Maybe?
I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know.
think it might have been 2021 actually.
Really? Um, so I think we've there's some of the questions that are here we've kind of already answered. So I would definitely suggest going back to the beginning and kind of rewatching, but just real quick, we've kind of touched on the whole Beardfest at Paradise things. There's a lot of logistical things that are in that. So we go into that a little bit before.
Wait, sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
Erica says, "Wait, Sam, I tried so hard," which is a reference to what I said about my shed being full of stuff. Erica, you did a great job, and the shed is very organized, and I very much thank you for it. All I mean is that it's all there. Like, ideally, you'd want a shed not full of a festival, but that's okay. You know, it's fine. It's fine.
Build a
The
new shed.
festival's in my shed.
You want your own shed? Build
I could build
That, you know
another shed,
what?
I guess.
The next we keep getting the what can the community do? I think that might be an
Build
answer.
Sam a new shed.
Yeah, come build me a
We need
shed.
more sheds. We need more sheds. You can put one on my property if anyone wants to build one on mine. I'll have a Beardfest shed on my property. That works too.
Okay, sorry. What were you gonna move on to, Rachel?
Wait,
No, it was
Tara
just there.
Tabor says stealing beard signs equals bad wook energy. That's well
Yeah,
said.
def.
Huge bad wook energy. Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Be a better wook than that. Let me see. Will Out of this Beard Space still continue? We'll still play together as a band. I don't know if you guys want
The funny thing about that is that Out of the Beard Space has not played a whole lot together as a band aside from Beardfest for almost 10 years now. I mean, like we've certainly done gigs around Beardfest, but yeah, I hope that so here, like every band has its trajectory and its ups and downs, and Beard Space started in like 2010 or so, and we grinded hard in the local scene and played every fest around until around 2016, and then we went on hiatus, and since then we've kind of come back and done Beardfest and shows around Beardfest. And the good news is that I think we're like better friends than we've ever been, and we hang out a lot, uh and yeah, our relationships are really strong, probably stronger than they were back when the band was really, really grinding. So I think we're going to be friends forever, and I think that there's going to be a version of Beard Space that does stuff here and there for a really long time. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to be like a band, you know, doing the band grind in the scene and on all the fests,
Yeah,
because that we haven't been for 10 years.
it would be impossible to be at this point. I mean, I guess I assume people know this, but I shouldn't. But I'm in Hawaii. I live in Hawaii right now. And so yeah, I can't do Beard Space gigs so easily. Um,
Zach
yeah.
moved to New York.
Jack's in New York. Yeah, it's a decent amount spread all over.
But
people grow and change and relationships evolve and creative partnerships have their trajectories and their evolutions and it's been a huge part of our lives and one of the most amazing things that I've ever been a part of Beard Space.
and we still might release like live albums. And again, if we do come back in 2027, um, I'm sure we'll perform. Maybe that'll change. Maybe we'll do one performance instead of two. I feel like we've been really stretching ourselves to do two, considering we don't do anything else the rest of the year. Um, but yeah, all of us are on musical paths of our own. We're all still doing a lot of music. Um, I'm out here in Hawaii playing a lot of reggae and also country. Um, because that's just what I found myself into over here. I'm playing in two different reggae bands. One is half reggae, half country. Um, I'm going to shout them out. One is called TJ and the Maui Country Band, and the other is called Any Kind. That's like my new project, which just released a new song and has a
Oh, good.
lot more coming. Any Kind.
And that was the one I saw in Denver, right?
No, the one you saw in Denver was TJ and the Maui Country Band. That's the one I went on tour with recently. Yeah. So Sam's cranking out YouTube videos over there.
Mhm.
Um, so you should check those out too. You guys should check out Sam's YouTube videos. You should check out my new band called Any Kind. You should check out Anahata's Purpose, Rachel's event. You should check out Zach. He be doing I mean he really mainly he's doing Lauren Hill right now.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Literally right now he's there
Right the
practicing.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what else we got?
Yeah, I got actually because I was sitting here, I was like, wait, there's one that I wanted to end with and I couldn't find it. So we actually have two more in here, but this is just another community love and gratitude from Lindsay Turner. I just want to say Beardfest has been my favorite festival for so long, and hearing this truly breaks my heart. You've poured so much love, effort, and soul into building this community, and it's been felt deeply by so many of us. And with everything happening in the world right now, I feel like we need the magic of Beardfest more than ever. But I completely understand and fully support the decision to take a pause. Please take care of yourselves. What you've created is a rare light in this world, one we all needed, and one that will continue to ripple far beyond the festival grounds. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And hearing
God.
things like that is one of the things that just
Yep.
makes it all worth it and makes all the hard work and all the, anything you heard us complain about tonight, like that's the kind of stuff that is just great to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of
It's been an absolute honor. I've been part of many, many special things and Beardfest is like, yeah, just the thing I'm most proud of anything.
Absolutely. Same.
yeah.
Do you wanna look in the Google form and take questions that have come
Oh,
in out? Should we just be looking in the
I
chat
did
maybe?
I did just look at it. The other ones were what other festivals would you recommend in the area? I think we covered that.
We have, but we'll do it again.
Purposeful.
Anahata's Purpose,
Three.
Threestival.
Mhm.
We'll shout out yeah, I don't know if they're planning to do it again, but Into the Pines, which is at Paradise Lakes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, yep. Mhm.
Um and what else? We got
Bramblewood, yeah, Ramble Fest.
Ramble Fest. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
That's at the same property. I know someone asked about Ramblewood in here, and it's Ramblefest was great. It was absolutely great. Great. They had Trombone Shorty 2 years ago, and he
Oh
held
yeah.
the longest one note I've ever seen in my entire life. I thought he was going to pass out, but he didn't. And it was
Carnival
insane.
of the Arts. Yeah, yeah. Carnival of the Arts.
Rhoda,
Yeah.
absolutely. There's a bunch.
Beard
There are
Space and Lauren Hill co-headline Spring Threestival. The idea to book Lauren Hill came up in the past before this year, and my joke was, oh, never mind. Should I say it? I don't know.
Yes. Why don't you tell that story? Why don't you tell the story? You tell the joke, tell it how it happened in real life too.
The
Because people
joke is
don't
that
know.
the joke was that I'd never subject Beardfest to that, but I shouldn't go any deeper. I'm not going to go any deeper into that. But yeah, the story. I mean,
How
uh,
did it happen? Because it started as a pipe dream, really.
sure. Okay. I've been playing in her band since 2022, and everything with those shows and with those tours is so different from anything that I'm used to. Just the scale of everything, the amount of people, the amount of money that's got to be involved. And so, even though I was part of it, it always seemed just like something that couldn't possibly happen. Um, and right from the start of us booking Zion, which kind of started as uh, Zion was just starting to launch his thing and put out music, and we were backstage somewhere or other. I think we were playing this festival in Brazil, and me and Zion were backstage, and I was like, like every time you put out a single, it's like it's a whole thing because you're carrying this big Marley torch and this big legacy, and every time you play a show, it's this big thing. Like, you ever just want to like come over and like jam and write, and like we won't even like record it. It doesn't have to be for anything. We'll just do it just to do it, because he's 26, and he uh he hasn't like since the second he started putting out music, it's this whole thing because he's carrying this legacy, and he hasn't gotten to have the experience of like just being a musician who's just, in some basement making some music for the fun of it. Uh so we talked about getting together and making some music, and but I mean very quickly that turned into do you want to play Beardfest? And so it was a process to kind of like make that official. Booking him, it was his first show. Beardfest was his first headlining show. He's been putting out music, but that was the first time that he played a headlining show under his own name. He had always come out as a special guest during his mom's shows. So we got all this music together, and his mom has 6 kids, and she's very family oriented generally. And her other son, YG Marley, has also been on tour with her, making a guest appearance at like every show for the last many years. And so she supports her kids, for sure, and really gives them a platform and really shows up for them. And we always knew that it was a possibility that she would potentially come and make a guest appearance. But we knew that we wouldn't know until like, the last second.
I
Uh,
think what you guys had said was she loves her son, so she'll probably come. And she loves performing, so she'll probably perform if she comes.
right, right.
Yeah.
And then, like 2 weeks out from the event or so, we started talking more like officially about like what would need to happen if she gets on stage, and then us putting all those pieces in place. Um, and then she came, and the rest is history. And it was one of the best performances that I've had with her because I'm used to being in a large band that rehearses a lot, and there's a whole lot of logistics, and there's a whole lot more people in the band. And it's just generally like a whole thing. But that set at Beardfest was my favorite time that I've ever played with Lauryn Hill in however many years I've been doing it. Um, and yeah, and it was such an amazing gesture on her part. Uh, I mean, I guess she didn't do it for us; she did it for her son. But I'm very very appreciative towards her for doing that, and it was just such a heartwarming moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Zion, shout out to her, um, and everyone for doing that. Shout out to Rachel for, just doing, handling all the logistics and holding the fort down while we were in musician mode. That was a lot to do. So
It was,
we
yeah. I was waiting for you to talk about, Sam, the part where you were like, we're all over here. Can you come over? Like, we'll have a meeting, and like sitting on your porch with the three of you. Be like, so it's looking like she's coming. I'm like, okay, all right. Corporate brain, pop that on. Okay, so we need to
Right. My,
figure out
my
how to
my
do
next
this.
question, because
Yeah.
okay, so there's this sort of like legend of the festival, like kind of on the inside, which is that like the festival becomes kind of most difficult during the moments when Beard Space is on stage because all the people running the festival are on stage. Um, and so it was like, okay, like this is gonna happen. Like Rachel, like we need you to like enact this plan. And there's several things that like
Would
logistical
have
things
happened. We
that
had
it
to make
means for
multiple
her to come and
plans.
for us to have pulled that off. And we were
Yeah.
like, Rachel, like you need to like step up or like I don't even think I asked you, but like that was the thing. And like before I even like said it, you were just like gung ho. You were like all in,
Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go. Let's
and you
go.
killed it, and you killed it.
I really tried to keep it a secret from the whole staff, but
Right.
we weren't able to do
And we
that.
couldn't tell anybody, and yeah.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It
Yeah.
was a good time. I know I'm like definitely was like, everybody stay away, do all this, but it was so great uh to see all of that happen. And I haven't been to all of your shows, Sam, with Miss Hill, but what you just expressed of how you felt, like it it was a moment on that
It
stage.
was a huge full circle moment because I'd always had these like separate worlds, like I go
Yeah.
into Lauren Hill world and there's like a whole community and a whole group of friends, and then there's my whole like Beard Space and Beardfest world, and they were always so separate, and often I was having to like choose between one or the other. Um, at whenever it was Beardfest, I was at Beardfest missing things with her, not doing certain gigs with her. And then other times like in the rehearsal grind leading up to Beardfest not being as available because of doing stuff with her. But like just to tie those two worlds together and have it all come together in such a beautiful way was like so full circle. Yeah.
I've been a fan of hers for such a long time too, that it was like, yay! Sorry,
Yeah.
I still just get really excited about it.
Yeah.
Like,
And
and just
and,
seeing
and
everyone on there, and like also just, I don't know. It's like there's a bunch of stuff I feel like I can't even put into words. My dog is tip tapping around though, so I'm just gonna let you know I'm gonna have to mute
yeah,
in a second to go let them
yeah.
out.
And
Got you.
and just real quick, and now that Ricky Hess is in that band too, whenever it's like me and Zach and Ricky are there, like she like jokes about like Beardfest has taken over the band and
Oh, nice.
stuff.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Um, I want to look at the chat a little bit here. Sunday Double says, how do we follow up and get involved going forward? Okay, the website isn't updated yet, but it's gonna get updated really soon and winterized. And it's gonna have that Google form with questions, the questionnaire, question comment form. It'll be there for you, and you can just drop whatever thoughts you have in there, and we will look at them, for sure. So that's like probably the easiest like direct line to us. Um, let's see. Dr. S. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say Doctor's Glass or Dr. S Glass, but thank you guys so much for creating my absolute favorite and my dog's favorite festival. I go to a lot of festivals, and there's truly nothing close to Beard Fest. Thank you. And I know that you vend, and we appreciate you. Thank you very much. Um, Evan Lockwood says, just want to say that after having been to 9 of the Beard Fests, and now it's generational with our daughter having done 4 of those years, we're glad you guys made this announcement with ample time. Yeah, we wanted to make sure. Yeah, people were hitting us up a lot, like for the dates. They're like, "Hey, I gotta plan my wedding, and I want to make sure it's how Beard Fest is, stuff like that." So we know how important it is to give people a heads up. Um, Erica Lazaro, I want to shout out how well the team did in arranging Miss Hill's performance, especially Rachel. The energy and logistics put into that were so much, and it was chef's kiss. Thank you. Would you guys consider making some sort of GoFundMe donation type thing for all the festival goers to put money towards Paradise Lake's infrastructure?
Hmm.
No, because that is
That's
their
their responsibility.
responsibility, not ours. We already pay to be there. Um, yeah, I guess that's the simple answer to that question.
Mm.
Um, Zach, is Academy of Music reunion necessary? Um, yes. Thank you for the space to grow and share art and love and all the things Beardfest. You're very welcome. Thank you for showing the appreciation. Is there final questions in the Google form? Where are we at?
We went pretty much to the Google form. If I did not say any of the questions, it's because we have gone over it in depth. And I
Gotcha.
think that they can just, once this is done, be able to just rewind from the beginning. Yeah, I think that was, yeah, because you just read that last one there. So I have one more comment here.
Wait, let me do the pitch thing real quick. So
Pitch.
not a lot of not a lot of people follow our YouTube channel, and we will probably still post some stuff on here. So subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're in this video. Give the video a thumbs up, all those type of
Let's like
things
subscribe,
that
like,
help with
follow,
yeah,
ring the
all that kind
bell.
of stuff. You can follow us personally if you want to stay up to what we're up to on Instagram or on YouTube. Follow
Mhm.
Anahata's Purpose.
Mhm.
Check out another great event. And yeah, these are just ways of keeping in touch as we're gonna not be doing the fest in 2026.
Hey
Oh,
guys,
look.
Hey,
I've been here this whole time in ears. I'm sorry, I'm setting up for a rehearsal that I'm already late for, but yeah, I just wanted to also echo the gratitude of I don't know, all the positive things people have shared, and I've always said there's no Beard Fest without everyone involved, and people when people would say like thank you for what you've done and like that sort of sentiment, I always just feel like it just is happening. It's just doing. The Beard Fest does itself. That said, we had to, there's a lot of time put into that, but also the whole thing is like this just big amalgamation of energy and love and creativity. So thank you for everyone and anyone who's like poured anything into that over the years, because it's been like there's not really words to describe how impactful it's been on us as individuals too. So thank you everyone so much.
You're gonna stick around for this last comment, Zach?
I will have you in my ears. I'm going to mute myself and turn my video screen off, but I'm
Want to make
sort
sure
of
you
here. I'm a ghost.
all right. You can go. So I just want to make sure you're
What?
here.
Okay.
This person didn't even want to be named, so it's anonymous. But they said, "Hi guys, this is not something I necessarily imagine to be addressed publicly, just something that I'd like to share with you. This is in response to the part of your hiatus announcement along the lines of an important facet of the festival for a long time personally has been that its platform is for out of the beard space. I just want you to know that regardless of your reasons and perceptions of where the band stands today, you guys are at such a height and it might not be easy to see where you're standing when you're the one standing there. I'm very picky about music, and your band might be the only one to break past the barrier that reaches me in a live setting in 10 to 15 years. I remember going to concerts in the early 2000s and feeling an excitement of unity that has been waning ever since, but you have kept it alive. You are world-class musicians that belong up with the best of them, and I hope that you don't doubt that that's where you already are. I don't mean to make this about me, but I'm having a hard time expressing a particular thing in writing and feel the need to relate an experience to get this across. I've had a music solo venture for many years, and it's involved in something else, and now in the hands of my fans. And I'm completely burnt out on it, and the tank is empty, feeling the loss of connection to what it once was. But I get emails daily from people telling me that I am on the top of my game and how much it means to them. And I am now on the other side of that, writing to you to tell you that you're on top of your game. Cordyception, Onyx, Funk Sandwich, Flight of the Cranes, Sense, all of my favorites. And I can only get them at the festival. And I hope you guys can recharge. And I'm truly grateful for what you've given to so many people. Whatever the future holds, I just wanted to remind you that Beard Space rocks."
that is so, so, so nice.
Isn't that
Thank you
so good?
so much.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. It's hard being a band out there, you know?
Mhm.
It's hard being an artist, um but yeah, hearing things like that is incredibly meaningful. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. So yeah, I guess we're gonna wrap this up and sign off. Um, we're gonna take this break. We're gonna feel into it and we're gonna see, whatever energy that we've been pouring into Beardfest, we're gonna have that energy freed up, that time and energy freed up to do other things. And I think we're all excited to experience that and have that space. And I think it's gonna result in a lot of music getting created, honestly. Like you might, yeah, maybe Zach's gonna release that solo album. We'll see. There's a challenge for you, Zach. I know Sam's gonna make a lot of YouTube videos. I'm gonna release a lot of reggae music with local bands out here, and probably go on tour more. And and who knows what else? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. But we love you guys a lot. Like Zach said, we do a lot of work to make Beardfest happen, and yet it's this force that is just happening in the world outside of our control. And we were lucky enough to wind up in this position to where we had influence to help shape something beautiful that just wanted to happen on its own. And so thank you for trusting us to do that for a very long time and allowing us to have this beautiful kuleana, which is a Hawaiian word, which is responsibility and privilege in one. It's a privilege to have this responsibility. And thank you.
Couldn't have said it better. It's been an absolute honor, and we love you all so, so much.
Yay. Well, thank you guys for making the space to see what the evolution becomes. And I'm sure everyone watching, whether it's now or they're watching in the future, uh, would agree that we're just excited to see what magic pops up and whatever is next. There's a lot of really great comments happening right now, though. There's so much love happening in the chat. Beardfest forever. Jeff says, please say hi to Mahoney for me when you see him, Jer.
You got it.
Lots of meeps. We love Out of Beard Space. Thank you all. Thank you for hosting this. Oh my God, my eyes are getting wet. Yes. Mad love, lots of hearts, lots of claps.
Yeah.
Just the best. Best community, and
Best community.
you guys deserve a break. See what magic comes to be.
Word.
All right.
All right. Love you guys. I guess we should wrap up this live stream.
I know. It's like I don't want to, but
It's hard to click end stream.
I know. Being a part of Beardfest all of these years has been one of the most magical things I've gotten to experience. Let's do it again and again in whatever form that it happens. Thank you, Andy. Absolutely.
Stereotype says, I just got here. Are you doing it next year?
Oh, no.
You got like an hour, you got some time, what's it, an hour and 40 minutes.
If you missed the video, as soon as we end stream, you can go back and watch it from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's gonna stay up on YouTube. We've been in a very happy, jolly mood. Which is great. It's getting a little emotional now at the end, but there hasn't been any tears on this stream. But we did have a staff call yesterday with plenty of tears, and if you need to cry about it, highly recommended. I did yesterday, and I'm sure I will again. I'm starting to get there right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Word. All right.
sending love until we
Sending
meet
love
again.
to all you guys. Gonna click end stream, and you'll be able to watch this in the future. Love you all, and that's the end of the stream. See ya. All right, I think I did it.
I hope you didn't.